What a beautiful 50x night last night. You can see one college basketball slip here, 5 into 125 on that 25x payout, 6 flex right there. And another one right down here in the NBA, 5 into 125, another 25x payout. And this was one off, one little rebound off on Doncic. She got in like the last minute and a half. This is about to be another 25x. Could have been a 75x night. But you see, this is how you play on Prizepicks. You're not going to win often. You can see these slips that do chalk completely, or you're going to get the -5s, the -5s, the -5s, maybe only 2 out of the $5, so 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6. It's going to happen often. You're going to get a lot of terrible bad beats like this, 2 points on. But in the long run, when you're playing 6 flexes, you're going to hit enough 25x's, assuming you're playing them right and using my picks, for example, you're going to be profiting in the long run. You can see how long I haven't hit a 6 flex in all these slips. It's a lot of slips, right? That's how you play volume. But eventually, you might get a 5 for 5 and it replenishes 10 slips that you might have just lost. These slips right here that you get a 2x that replenishes 1 slip that you might have lost, and all these things add up. So when you're actually cashing the 25x's, you're going to see the profits roll up. And I've been super transparent about this. I track every single unit on Prizepicks and Underdog since I've started the Discord. I started it November 20th, and in total right now we are up 249.65 units on Prizepicks, and that's including 2 terrible weeks. So you see, -20.7 week and -25.6 weeks. But did I give up there? No. I know my strategy is profitable long term. And when you get a night like this where you get 2 25x's in one night after you're on a terrible losing streak, you're going to see it completely replenishes it. So even the people that joined on a terrible week here, -20.7 units, if they just stuck with it for 3 more weeks, which is a long-term game, I always say long-term, you can't expect to join the Discord and profit on the first week. Is it possible? Certainly is. Look, week 6, if someone joined, they would have made 86.9 units in 1 week. But if you join on a bad week, you got to be willing to stick it out, keep that unit constant at $5, whatever it is. And in the long run, you could see in 4 weeks, I never had a run of 4 weeks that was negative on Prizepicks. Never, never. So 5 units of profit. It's not much, but you can see you're still up. And if we continue to hit one more 25x this week, that's going to be 30 units of profit. And the week is not over yet. Of course, we still have this 1 day left to see what's going to happen. So that's kind of what I'm saying. This graph is here for a reason. So you could see the ups, you could see the downs, you could see the ups again and the downs, and now we're back on this up streak. So you'll take a ton of losses like this. You could see even in the first week, we went down 30.6 units straight, yet finished that week up 10.7 units. Because in reality, you only need to hit 1 or 2 6 flexes a week to really be up. Even this one, we hit 3 6 flexes, I think, this week, up 56.2 units. So 2 6 flexes in a week, you're making pretty good money. You're hitting 3, you're making a ton of money. And you can see this stretch of 3 weeks here where we went up 180.15 units straight. Like, that is absolutely insane. Again, if no one knows what a unit is, just take that number, multiply it by whatever you're putting on every single slip. So in this case, the Discord is up about 330 units in the 11-week span. If you times that by 5, you would be up $1,655 if you're putting $5 on every single slip. If you're putting 10, you can see how it gets much better. And if you go all the way up to $40, which a lot of people do play in the Discord, that's 13K profit. Because we're playing 6 flexes, you're going to go on losing streaks like this. So if this whole week we didn't hit a 6 flex, so we went down 25.6 units in a week. But like I said, we just recovered this whole week off one night. So it's extremely frustrating. And as often as you lose with 6 flexes, it's mathematically optimal. It's not a debate. It's not an argument. It's literally proven by math countless times. There's so many YouTube videos. I even have one on my channel right here. If you guys are still not convinced that 6 flexes are the way to go, I have this video up in the annotations that tells you why 2 powers are terrible and why every other slip type are also terrible except the 5 and 6 flexes. You have to think of the trade-off. Would you rather hit a 2-man every single day but not actually be profiting by the end of the month? Or would you rather only hit a 6 flex one in a few times and then actually profiting by the end of the month? That's what you have to be thinking about, because everyone's just searching for these dopamine hits on these daily hits. If I'm taking 2 random players, it's so easy to hit these on a daily basis. It's not as easy to hit 6 mans, which is why I'm playing like 10 a day at least. But when they hit, you're profiting way more than you would ever profit with 2 mans. And I prove that with this Excel sheet. That is why I have it. It's always linked in the description, completely transparent. You could track it in a week from now. It's still going to be in the description. The real thing you need is consistency to play the slips every day, and also patience and controlling your emotions. I mean, that's the most important part. If you're going to lose 7 days straight, are you going to go on tilt and leave the Discord and get so angry about it? That might not be for you. If you're going to be able to trust the math and trust the process and trust the fact that it's been working for the past 11 weeks, then my Discord would be a right spot for you. So if you actually want to become a profitable bettor and follow profitable picks that I've been sending for the past 11 weeks with success, then click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to my WAP page. It's the same thing as Patreon or Dub Club if you guys have used that. and get the Prizepicks plan if you guys are on Prizepicks only, and Prizepicks plus underdog if you want underdog picks too. You can even read the reviews. There's people in here that have been here for quite a while reviewing the products. On someone else's perspective, there's 19 reviews here for you guys to read, so go read those ones if that is going to sway your decision. But if you want actual profitable picks, get away from the 2-mans and actually make money on Prizepicks, as I've proven time and time again by the fact that I'm even limited on Prizepicks. I could show you right now, I'm not allowed to put $100 on this because Prizepicks knows I've made too much money of them. They've distinguished me as a sharp bettor, which means they're not going to allow me to put $100 on this bet, because they know if I'm allowed to put $100 bets over and over, I'm going to be rinsing them dry. So I have to do the $5 bets, and I could share the wealth with everyone else in my Discord. Now, as for the actual picks from last night's video, went 2 and 3. There was a DNP here on Brook Lopez, so obviously that messes with Giannis's line. And then this stack did not hit here. And then this game right here, Tobias Harris got ruled out. Bunch of lines moved. Pace Maxi moved all the way to 32.5. Kelly Oubre moved to like 19.5. Chalk line, which you're going to see. I also sent this one to the Discord. That's kind of how it works. I'm playing a lot of volume. Not every slip is going to work out. Obviously, when I'm playing like 10 to 15 a day, eventually one is going to hit, and that's enough profit because one slip pays you 25x. So if you're playing 15 and you got 25x on one, that's 10 units of profit. You guys could see how that works. So let's get on to what I have for tonight's board, and we're going to go into the NBA and start it off with Bam. I'm loving this line at 17.5. Too low here. We're going to grab the 17.5. On sportsbooks, it's at 18.5 on some of them at least. And we're also going to pair this up with Jimmy Butler, but here we're going to take his under 20.5 points. And I love this pairing in Miami. Normally when Bam's having a good game going over his points, Butler is normally going under his points, and kind of vice versa. We're going to take a look at that quick here. So Bam's 17.5 points, amazing value as I said. DraftKings and Caesars have him both juiced towards minus 130, and every other sportsbook already has him at 18.5. Now we could check his splits here. So at home, which is where they're playing tonight, 79% hit rate. In general, 77% hit rate, and you could see the difference between the 17.5 and the 18.5 from 69% to 77%. So massive point that we're getting there. Now, obviously, there's been some new changes in the lineup with Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero all starting here, Rozier, Butler, and Hero, and it has been worse splits with these guys in the lineup, so you have to consider that. But he did still clear 19 points in this game and 20 points in this game. This versus Boston and versus Washington. Now, 2 out of 6 is not a great hit rate, but it's not enough data to really get a full idea of how these guys are going to play together tonight. So I'm still liking the 17.5 spot, despite it being even a tougher matchup versus the Clippers, as well as the fact that Rosier's in the lineup now, and that does affect, how Bam's going to play and his usage rates. Go and check the spread here. It is a -4 spread to the Clippers with a pretty low total here, but Miami at home. So I'm liking like this sort of game conditions for Bam to actually get the points. It's like he's going to get benched, and we do check his minutes recently. Been pretty good here. So in this game that he did clear versus Boston, he actually only got 28.8. And 32.9 here. He has been averaging about 34.8 minutes. So, I mean, his last 5 has been pretty low. So, if he does get around that 35-minute mark versus the Clippers, I do think he clears this nicely. As for Butler, you can see in his recent games, he's actually been clearing this while Bam has going under. Kind of what I was saying when I was first taking these picks. But the reason I'm liking Bam on the over this time is obviously because of the juice. 17.5 is a great spot for him. And also, Butler's points are juiced towards the under, except on Caesars. But every other sportsbook has him juiced towards the under slightly. Also, Butler's hit rates throughout the season, only 15 out of 34 times. Again, Rozier is in the lineup now, and it does change some things where he's cleared this 5 out of 8 times. He's actually been getting more points with Rozier in the lineup, but I don't think this is a major concern. Again, it's a very small sample size. So that is a script I'm going for here with Bam on the over points and Butler on the under. The next 4 picks are going to be from one game, and we're going for a blowout stack here. We're going to go with Booker to start on the under 6 assists, and we're going to be pairing this up with Grayson Allen on his under 11.5 points. So Grayson Allen under 11.5 points, Booker under 6 assists. Let's take a look at the value on this. So Booker has been actually clearing his over 6.5 assists quite often this season. He's averaging 7.2 over the season, but you have to consider the games with Bradley Beal and really the whole lineup with Nurkic, Durant, Grayson Allen, and Beal. He's only played 15 games with this full lineup, and he has only cleared this 7 out of 15 times. So you see how the splits do taper off when you throw in the full lineup, especially Beal, right? Now, they are playing the Wizards, who are the worst team, 30th in points allowed, 30th in rebounds allowed, and 30th in assists allowed. But I'm not too concerned with that, because I think if these starters don't get the minutes that they really need, it's going to end badly here. You have to see that the Wizards are at home with 11.5 spread, favored for Phoenix, but you also have to consider that Tyus Jones and Kuzma are potentially out. I mean, Kuzma is for sure out, but Tyus Jones is also game time decision, so that is going to be a very easy matchup for Phoenix tonight. Tyus Jones is out, you're going to have Poole and Denny to run the team, and that's not going to look very good. So that is why I'm going with the unders, but on top of that, you could see every sportsbook has him at 5.5. We're getting him at 6. I think it's a fair spot for Devin Booker 6. I could see him pushing it, but I still think there's a decent chance that he still goes under the 5.5 to get the full win. As for Grayson Allen, heavy juice on that under 11.5 points. Yes, he's cleared this 53% of the time. One thing about this Wizards team is 30th in points allowed, but 13th in 3 points allowed. And as we all know, Grayson Allen is quite the 3-point shooter. He does rely on about half his points coming from the 3 ball, especially if he's going to hit 3 threes in a game. So it's good to see they're a bit better defensively versus the 3-pointers, especially when we're grabbing Grayson Allen's under here. Now, honestly, I hope Tyus Jones plays because he's actually the next pick on the under 8.5 assists. And we're also going to be pairing this up with Jordan Poole on his under 22 points. I think this line is set too high. And same thing for Tyus Jones. There is juice towards his under. We'll take a look at Tyus first. So under 8.5, heavy juice towards that under 8.5 on every single sportsbook. BetMGM seems a bit confused. They have him on 9.5, but every other sportsbook at 8.5, heavy juice under. Now, this hasn't happened ever where Kuzma was out this year with Tyus Jones, so it's a bit hard to get an indication of how it's going to go. Obviously, his line's way higher than it normally is. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So normally I said at like 7.5, 6. Tonight that's at 8.5 because of the usage increase that Tyus Jones is going to get with Kuzma out. So honestly, it is hard to say how this game is going to go if Tyus Jones is in the lineup. But since I'm going for a blowout script, it doesn't really matter if he's getting assists as long as he's not getting minutes. Essentially, if it is a blowout, he's going to get benched with Poole. He's going to get benched with Grayson Allen and Booker. So no one's going to be getting their minutes. And we could see in these recent games when he's not getting these minutes, obviously he's not getting as many assists compared to the games where he's getting more minutes. Pretty simple concept to understand there. That's why I am liking this slip, especially if Tyus Jones does play. Now, Poole on his under points is interesting because if Tyus Jones doesn't play, then that's more usage for Poole, as I said. So we're actually going to lose value on this line if Tyus Jones is out. But then we're going to get a DNP on the slip, so you could kind of cancel the slip after if you don't want to play Poole at 22 points because you're kind of scared of him going over if Tyus Jones ends up being out. But I'm grabbing his under 22 because, first of all, every sportsbook has him at 21.5. Actually, BetMGM even has him at 20.5. And you could see some even have him juiced towards the under. FanDuel has him actually juiced to minus 114 on the under. Caesars is the only one with juice towards the over. Now, obviously, he basically never hits this, but his line is this high because Kuzma is out, as I said, but we don't have any data to see how he plays without Kuzma here. So pretty much a no-brainer at 22. At 21.5 might be a bit questionable. So this is a slip for tonight. Bam over points, Butler under points, then Booker, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones, and Poole all on their under assists and points. So that is what we're going for tonight.